Pokemon. It's a game that frankly everyone in the world knows. But every couple of years there comes a franchise that puts on their gloves and decides to challenge Pokemon for their throne. And none of them have ever really worked. Digimon, Bakugan, Yu-Gi-Oh! All these different franchises were at one point in time supposed to be the Pokemon killer. Now in 2020, when positive reception towards Pokemon games started to waver with the famous Dexit of Pokemon Sword and Shield, for about a week or two, everyone blew up about this one franchise called TemTem. So TemTem is created by a Spanish studio called Crema, and it seems to be their first big hit. It had good monster designs, a higher difficulty level, and even things Pokemon didn't, like a lot more online capabilities. The entire point of TemTem was that it was supposed to be an MMO. And it was even on PC, so a lot of people who didn't have Switches were able to play. And so the first week it came out, a bit before Sword and Shield did, it actually boasted about 40,000 concurrent players on Steam, which is amazing. But after the initial boom of players, the player base for TemTem plummeted seemingly overnight to the point where no one ever spoke about it. And it wasn't like there was news coming out that TemTem was particularly bad, it just vanished. So I thought 2 years later, as someone who actually frankly really likes Pokemon, why not try TemTem out, see what all the fuss was about, and see maybe why it didn't end up being the Pokemon killer everyone thought it was supposed to be. So I booted up the game and immediately agreed to give it my IP address, randomly generated Polnera from part 3 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and met my mother, the sweetest, most oh my god, look at that. Now for me, this is probably one of the worst aspects of this game. While the creature designs look great, the humans don't. They vary between this generic anime style and something that looks like it came out of the Nintendo 64 Majora's Mask game. Just nightmare fuel. After leaving my house, I was hit with a whopping 25 seconds of load time. I then got to choose one of 3 starters, a Crystal Rhino, a Melee Monkey, or a Psychic, whatever this is. My chat really wanted it, but I was pretty set on the Crystal Rhino. And then I named it the only way I know how. Here, I need to get my fist over some vowels.
No, give it an actual name.
No. Keyhole. See? Easy. And thus we were ready to set upon our TemTem journey. I was bright-eyed and ready to fight among the strongest. And then I immediately got destroyed in a one-on-one with our rival. Mechanical Eve. Whoa! But this is actually a great opportunity to talk about the battle system in TemTem, because it is very different from Pokemon. Every single battle in TemTem is a double battle, which adds a lot more strategy into the 2 TemTems you send out to battle. Instead of PP, they also have something called a stamina meter, which is actually a really cool mechanic. It means that every move takes a certain amount of stamina. If you run out of stamina, it'll start taking from your health pool instead, meaning several times if you're not careful, you can end up knocking out your own Pokemon. Wait, I meant TemTems. Shit! This makes some battles super difficult. At one point, they sent out this over-leveled, stupid-looking shark that's beautiful, and I had to cycle through my whole team just trying to kill this one TemTem. What this also means is in long battles of 6v6, you'll usually be forced to rotate out your TemTems, meaning you can't really just have one level 50 Charizard, you constantly have to switch out. Now, while I liked this mechanic a ton at first, I did realize there was one tiny flaw. Because it makes you use all your TemTems, it means you're going to be using a lot that frankly you might not like. For example, in the early game, of my 6 TemTems, I was really only attached to 2 or 3. The rest were just sort of fodder that I really didn't want to have to train. I would have loved to just focus on the 3 that I like. But at the end of the day, it is supposed to be a much more difficult experience, and boy howdy did I feel that. The first route felt like it went on forever, with trainers every which way, constantly having to switch out my TemTems, to the point where I was ready to go back until my chat pointed out that there was a health station just ahead that marked the halfway point. Now, I didn't get too far into TemTem, but the 2 routes I did go through took me about 30 to 45 minutes each. And I'm not struggling for no reason. I have a full party. The game is just difficult. It's treacherous. There's a lot of trainers and strategy that goes into this. And frankly, it was a really nice change of pace from Pokemon games where the routes seem to get shorter every generation. By the time I exited the first route, I felt like I had earned it, which frankly is kind of an absent feeling in a lot of the later Pokemon games. But as I explored the TemTem town, I also began to realize another one of the game's weaknesses. I could personally give a rat's ass about the plot of this game. I just truly have no idea what's going on, and I tried to understand it. The game seems really lackluster in exposition and tutorials, where a lot of the tutorials feel like you should know this because, hey, you've played Pokemon before, but then they'll throw new concepts at you that, frankly, I'm not sure if I was supposed to know or not. I'll talk to an NPC because someone told me about something that heals my party, and I'll have a dialogue option to ask them about a surfboard, and I'm not sure if I'm supposed to do that or not. When I first arrived at the trainer school, they scolded me for never attending classes, despite having arrived that day, leaving me more confused than anything. And I'm not out here saying Pokemon has a good story. Pokemon has the most basic, bare bones plot you could have where, hey, legendary Pokemon that bad guy wants, you must beat him, save legendary Pokemon, save the realm. Which, honestly, isn't anything groundbreaking, but it works, and it's filled with charming enough characters that you fall in love with just a glance in a battle. Look at the latest Sword and Shield games, each of those gym leaders are full of personality that leaves you wanting more of them, if anything. And obviously, it's not a fair comparison to compare an indie game to a juggernaut like Nintendo, but when the game styles are so similar, it's hard not to compare the charming world of Pokemon to the frankly empty feeling of TemTem. And then I realized the game was getting a little repetitive. I was still having a ton of fun, but I was running into the same TemTems in the wild over and over again. And when I got to the next town, it really did feel a bit empty. Yeah, there are side quests you can go out to fulfill, but there wasn't much more. It was a quest I had seen before in Pokemon. The gym leader is missing, you have to go find her. I think this is where TemTem is going to have its biggest struggle, and frankly, any game that wants to challenge Pokemon. Pokemon is an established franchise that's been around for 20 odd years. They've done a lot of things, and it's hard to have an original idea in that space without seeing like you're trying to just bite their stuff. And this is where I decided to end my short foray into TemTem. I had fun, and I even was really attached to some of the members of my party. I mean, look how cute this guy is. I can't stress enough how much I like the designs of the TemTems in this game. It's probably the single best aspect of the game, bar none. But it still feels like there's something that was missing, and a lot of it was just charm. The Pokemon games, albeit a bit unpolished, are overflowing with charm and world and majesty that makes the worlds fun to explore. The fact that every route, albeit short, is really different. Magical forests and oceans to explore. And maybe TemTem does have that, but I didn't get to see it in the first 2 hours I played, and if you can't really hook me in that time, you're not going to hook a lot of people. If you're a Pokemon gameplay expert and you love to min-max and IV hunt, I think TemTem would be a great fit for you. It has a lot of that challenging experience that you're looking for. But if you're like me and you're much more of a casual Pokemon enjoyer who likes the charm that the games come with, the trainers and the world, I might recommend just letting this one slide. But later this year, TemTem is going to fully release. It won't just be an alpha or beta or whatever anymore. It's going to be the full completed game. So maybe do your own research. I'm just someone talking. Overall, I love TemTem. It was a fun experience, just I don't think it was for me. The community though is amazingly nice. I kept having people pop up in my stream to help give me advice, and it wasn't easy for them because I was very bad and dumb. So thank you to everyone who stopped by. If you did enjoy this video though, and you want to help me out, please just like and subscribe or stop by my Twitch channel to see what's up. Thanks all. See ya.